And new tonight, it's somewhat an I told you so. Neighbors say that they knew something was going to happen. Their concerns led to historic flooding in a Tampa neighborhood. You're watching 10 Tampa Bay at 6. I'm Courtney Robinson.
And I'm Dave Wagner. Those neighbors say they complained for years about a nearby lot which was bought by the city to alleviate flooding, but it wasn't resolving the issue.
And then Hurricane Milton hit and dozens of homes were destroyed. They knew it didn't have to be like that. And that's why they turned to our 10 Investigates Jennifer Titus for answers.
Inside we had about 10 inches, 9 to 10 inches of water consistently throughout the entire first floor.
The bones of the house are still here.
And yeah, I mean, we lost kind of everything on that first floor.
But the items that helped make this home for the Rodriguez family are gone.
Toys, all our furniture.
The Rodriguez's home was one of the 30 homes in the Bayshore Beautiful neighborhood of Tampa flooded after Hurricane Milton.
Neighbors who have sort of more of a ranch-style home, single floor, lost really everything.
It was devastating.
In 35 years, Debbie Benno has never seen her neighborhood flood like this.
No refrigerator, stove, sink, bottom cabinets.
Cabinets that now sit on the curb as piles of trash.
The experience has been terrible and devastating.
Devastating, as Debbie's neighbors are now forced to live in this RV.
Our neighbor, Miss Doreen, and her husband are living in the RV with their 9-year-old grandson and their dogs because their home was flooded.
The family has also been here for decades.
He was raised here, and they really didn't have flooding problems here, she told us, until about 2015.
10 Investigates has learned it was 2 years later when the city of Tampa drew up plans for 4 parcels that were purchased to construct a drainage pond. While there used to be homes here, it's now an empty lot called Concordia Park.
This is the drain area. You kind of have to look a little closer just because there's debris.
But neighbors say the issues didn't seem to stop. Emails we uncovered from neighbors to the city show concerns were raised as far back as 2020. City crews had dug a pond in the middle of the lot, but neighbors worried about the depth of it and the standing water that piled up after a thunderstorm. Same concerns raised in this August 2024 email when the city talked about digging the hole even deeper. The same month, neighbors took videos of an excavator out at the hole, and within days, the excavator underwater from an August rainfall, which nearly flooded the Rodriguez's home.
We had referenced the first time we saw significant flooding in the area. That should be above the water line.
And while the emails continued, so did the problems. And by the time Hurricane Milton hit, dozens of homes were damaged.
I think the city of Tampa just kind of ignores things.
Through a public records request, we were able to see the back and forth with city leaders and neighbors here, but nobody from the city would speak with us on camera. So we reached out to City Council member Bill Carlson. He met us in the neighborhood where for the first time, neighbors saw city crews taking action.
Why still just are we seeing action now?
That's one of the questions we need to ask. And we, at City Council, we've asked for several reports. I've asked for an update to the overall stormwater plan from 2016. That report will come at the beginning of the year. We've also asked for short-term solutions for neighborhoods like this. It's obvious in this neighborhood, we at least need to clean the culverts before anything else.
Because that's what was discovered here. The council member walked the property with members of the stormwater department after he heard about the concerns, and they uncovered a culvert that had not been touched in years.
Imagine if you went to the Philippines and found a World War II pillbox that was covered with jungle growth from 50 years. That's what these look like. And so now, hopefully they're cleaning all of that. But it's obvious, at least on the second one where they are now, that water couldn't get through. So we need to make sure that we do proper maintenance.
Proper maintenance that neighbors say could have been taken care of years earlier if they had received a proper response years ago.
How do we make sure that we're not missing sites going forward?
The city has floodplain maps, and you can see where the water flows. This area is a bowl, so water comes from other areas into here. And because of the levee of the CSX track and the crosstown, the water can't get by, so they had to come up with a solution here. There are other areas like Coachman that are bowls also where the water flows in, and there's stormwater pumps there and wastewater pumps. that we need to make sure are running.
So this is like the space that obviously received the most amount of flood in our neighborhood.
For this community, they say much of the damage you see here could have been stopped.
This is a culvert line.
They hope going forward, there will be a prompt response to concerns, especially when the problems have a potential to cause damage like this.
We're likely not having sort of a Christmas celebration here. We haven't figured out the alternative yet.
And we asked Bill Carlson, how will the city be able to answer these requests and make sure proper maintenance is done in neighborhoods? He tells me that they need to figure out if there's emergency money where they can hire more stormwater staff and make sure they have enough people to investigate stuff like this. Jennifer Titus, 10 Investigates.